Sunday with Ask Susan Sunday Live, your place to be every Sunday. With me, Susan Lazar Hart, your congruency coach. Welcome to Congruent Living for seekers, for people in the question, for creatives who know there's more and are asking for more. So let's wait for the algorithms to kick in. It's a beautiful day in Montreal. This is such a big topic. I've already started rolling up my sleeves. Had a lovely walk with Shiloh, my wonder dog, this morning in the park, and that's a kindness to me. That's a kindness to Shiloh. Just in the everyday. Oh, I've already started the call. How does it get any better than this? So, as you come on in, let people know where you're from. We have an international community. And if you're new to Ask Susan, this is a space and place to come to every Sunday with your questions. It's not a dialogue, it's not a monologue, it is the space of being in the question. So, this topic actually started with a question somebody wrote me last Monday. And it was about, how do I stop someone from, no, it actually was, how do I be more of me and be more of an invitation when I see somebody is either in an abusive relationship or abusing themselves. And I actually was in the space of that question. What is it this person requires, right? What is it the person who's writing the question requires? And what is it the person who is, sorry, there's a little note here. Oh, no. What is it that the person who is being abused requires? So I'm just going to check in that we are live. Usually people pop in by now. I'm just going to do a little check and see what else is popping up here. If not, I guess this will be recording. So cool. Yep, we are going live. Good. So let's start with that question. You know, there's so many times when we see something that other people don't see. There's so many times when we're aware of something that could shift, that could change, that other people aren't aware of. Hey, Jamie. Hi. Oh, thank you. It's live. Yay. Thank you, Jamie. So the question is it kind? What is kindness, right? Sometimes it's kind to let somebody just be in their own space, whatever that is. Sometimes it's a kindness to, I call inseminate, like just kind of like put in a few pieces of information for clarity, should that person be willing to receive it. Because the thing about kindness when someone is being abused is talking to what they can hear, right? So my first question would be, what is kindness with them, right? What is it that they can hear? What could that look like? My second part of this is, what is it that you're invested in as kindness? So the reason why I say that is, well, often we'll see something going on in someone else's life. Are you willing to be the change that's required? Like, is that a kindness to you? So for instance, if you're with somebody who's abusing themselves or who is being abused, are you willing to be the energy and the vibration of the changes that you know are possible? Because change starts with you. Kindness begins with you. So I often ask myself, what would it take for me to be so aware of what this person can receive? I'm just going to check some things here. Of what this, oh, there's my thumb in the way. What would it take to be so aware of what this person can receive? Like when I give classes, I'll ask, what energy, space, and consciousness can I be to perceive, know, be, and receive what this person requires of me? Because often we'll see something, or we'll be aware of something, and we overgive. Right? Now you notice I'm not touching on the abuse specifically itself, because I don't have all the information. You know, when you write me a question and ask me, how can I be more of me to be the invitation for this person to stop abusing themselves, right? More information is required. But when I take an aerial look, so I'm not going to go into details, when I take an aerial look at this and I ask myself, what energy, space, and consciousness can I be with the question that's being asked of me? I also include what is kind to me. Right? So how many of you are obsessed with someone else's life, with what somebody else is doing, with what somebody else is choosing? And I'm not saying what this question is about. This is more where we're going with this question, right? Because when you ask me a question, it plants a seed for other questions. Hey, Lola, welcome, welcome, welcome. So my question would be, we often get distracted when we get involved by what's urgent, 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 right? It's like, oh, it's urgent. And I would stop and ask, is any of this creating a kindness with me? Now, kindness with me means I'm totally present with what I'm creating, how I'm creating, who I'm creating with, and my presence on this planet. Right? Now, sometimes being very uncomfortable is the kindest thing I can do for myself. So I'm shifting, I'm changing, my business is changing, Congruent Living for Creators and Seekers. I love it. I'm creating with a new way of coaching. I'm using my Lazar coaching, and I've created a special series for people called Coming Home. It's about coming home to you. There's kindness in there, right? So what I'm asking you to ask is, are you creating with kindness for you? Right? Are you creating with an awareness of what is possible, of what somebody can hear? Are you aware of what you're willing to hear? Right? How many of us have an awareness of what's required and we go right in? Is that being kind to what this person can hear? Is that being kind to you and what you're asking to create with yourself, with your business, with your body, with your relationships, with the planet? True kindness begins with you being the vibration of truly what else is possible. So that that person, whoever that is, when the question was initially right at the top of this call, was what can I be more of? Are you willing to be more of the kindness of you? Right? See, there's so many people that I've met that have true kindness in them. And that's a person I know that I could go to with, there would be no judgment. There would be just a space. A space of space. Hey, Brenda, welcome. So true kindness is the willingness for you to be that space for you. So, as this is a dialogue or not a dialogue or monologue, it's a conversation. Let me know how we're doing. Give me a hashtag yes kindness. Hey, how's it going? Thank you so much, Harmon. Give me a thumbs or a like or whatever that is, so I know A, you're here, and B, we're in the right lane here, because I always want to check in. Where I'm going could be not where you want to go, and this is for you. This call is for you. It's something that I've been asking myself a lot about this week, with everything going on the planet, with the way that people are being on the planet, with the way that some people are being on the planet, with the way that other people are being on the planet, because everybody's choosing their own lane and pathway that they're playing in. So what is kindness for me? I saw my screen time said, you're down like 75%. That means I'm not picking up my phone as soon as I wake up anymore and scrolling and boop, 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 and doing all that stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a kindness to me, right? Shutting off. Hashtag kindness, Harmon says, thank you so much. That's a shutting off. I'm not blocking it. I'm aware of everything that's going on, but I'm actually doing more work on myself, self-educating myself, and that's a kindness to me, right? So when I'm walking with the dog, I'm doing a walking meditation. When I'm working, I'm asking truth, what does my business require? And would this be a kindness to my business? Right? Kindness is linked in with joy. Again, it's not always comfortable. You being the only joyous person on the planet could be the most uncomfortable thing for you. Is a kindness to you? Could be. Yeah. So, any questions? Anything popping for people? I'm going to give you just a second here to come on in with your questions. You know, one of the things I've talked about, perhaps you haven't heard it or perhaps you heard, is this wonderful book. It's called The Book of Awakening by Mark Nepo. And I open it up once a day in the morning. When I wake up, have a drink of water, open this up. It's a page and a half of reading, and it always opens up something for me. And this morning he's talking about, I see you, I'm here. For centuries, African Bushmen have greeted each other in this way. When the one becomes aware of his brother or sister coming out of the bush, he claims, I see you. And the one approaching rejoices, I'm here. And I love that. It had me actually, you know, thinking about our conversation that we're having right now. And my question for you is, are you willing to look into the mirror with total kindness, with no judgment, and say, I see you, I am here? Right? Are you here for you? Again, there's so much tugging going on right now of who you can be for somebody else, right? What you can do for somebody else. Are you willing to be that for you? That would be my question. And what does that look like? What could that create? Yeah. What if every day in every way you play with, is this a kindness for me? Hey Lola, you got a question? Awesome. All right, I've got to move this in for some reason. Gonna get this out of the way, gonna get that out of the way, then I can see a little clearer. Don't know where my computer glasses are, but don't mind my squinting. Okay. We're usually educated to give and be sure everyone is happy. Yeah, most often as a woman. Well, and men too, in a different way. They've been educated to believe that it's their job to make sure everybody is taken care of, right? So that would include happy. The question Lola asked is, we are usually educated to give and be sure everyone is happy, more as women. And my sidebar to that is not necessarily. You know, a lot of men have been programmed and trained that it's their job to make people happy by earning a lot of money, by creating a home, whatever that is, right? So I know where you're coming from, and I'm just going to include all the yummy men that are on here as well. Let me just do this. Okay. What would it take for us to be kind with us and be willing to receive and give more to us? Okay, cool. So, I love that question. Thank you so much. Kindness is the willingness to be present. So my question would be, are you willing to be present? Right? Are you willing to be present with what it is that you require? What it is that you desire? We talked a little bit on part 1 about the difference between what's urgent and what you really need. Right? So true kindness is the willingness to take an aerial view and ask yourself, is this urgent? Is this what I really require? Does this bring me joy? Is choosing this a kindness to me? Right? Because we're often, you know, we're taught to go for the bright, shiny things. And yes, a lot of us have been entrained and conditioned to serve others before ourselves. Right? My question would be is, what is it that you're asking to create? Right? What is it that you're asking to create? A lot of my clients come to me with that same question. I'm giving, right? So my question is, are you willing to take an aerial view and ask, what does this create? And whatever that awareness is of what it creates, is it a kindness to you? Right? Is it a kindness to you? Is getting involved in other people's lives a kindness to you? Now, kindness is one of those things that has all kind of, hey Brenda, all kind of spirals to it. It has to do with generosity. It has to do with appreciation. It has to do with gratitude. It has to do with joy. So when you ask, is this a kindness to me? Is this a kindness to my business? Right? If you have an expectation or projection of something with your business, with your body, with your relationship, is there any kindness there? Or have you already gone into the judgment? Hey, Margot, have you already gone into the judgment part of this? Right? So judgment is not a kindness. You know when something's a kindness, there's all of a sudden your shoulders just relax. There's a sense of possibilities, right? You're connecting to who you truly be. And sometimes true kindness is the willingness to just be in total loving allowance of what somebody else is choosing. Margot, check out part 1. We talked a lot about your question and abuse in there. I again, for those of you who are just coming in, I had a little glitch in my matrix there on my iPhone. So we have a part 1 and a part 2. Cool. Any questions? Anything popping for people? Right? The amazing thing of kindness is it actually, true kindness. When I say true kindness, because how many of us have been criticized for, that wasn't very kind, when you have an awareness, right? I'm not going to touch the screen. I'm going to move it closer. Thank you, part 1, yes. Good. I know, I'm not touching the screen now. True kindness, because we're taught, oh, that wasn't kind when you said what you thought. Well, here's my little question for you. Are you willing to talk to what people can hear? On part 1, we talked about, often when I give a class or when I'm talking with a client, just before I go in with a client, I'll ask, what energy, space, and consciousness can my body and I be to be totally present with what this person can receive? So a lot of what's going on in the world right now has to do with urgency, has to do with like now. Well, my question is, what creates the greatest amount of possibilities? What would be truly kind in creating more on the planet? Like, what are you willing to commit to? Are you committing to kindness? Or are you committing to urgency? Are you committing to kindness? Or are you committing to someone else's points of view about what you should be doing it, how you should be doing it, and who you should be doing it for? Lola, let me know if this, hi Nina, let me know if this has assisted you at all. The question from Lola was, what would it take for us to be kind with us and be willing to receive and give more to us? It's about being present, right? What is it that I truly require and desire? Hey Nick, welcome. What is it that I truly require and desire? Right? What does that look like for me? Is that a kindness? Right? Is it a kindness to me? So you might see, what somebody else is doing, how they're creating, the kind of relationships they have. I want that. Well, do you really know what's going on in their life and their living? Get the sense, get the energies, get the vibrations. Right? What if you didn't have to, hey Partha, what if you didn't have to go to that space, right? You might ask, wow, who does that belong to? Me desiring somebody else's life. Is there any kindness there for what you are creating, what you have creating, and what brought you to this moment right now? Because when you disclaim you, there's no kindness in there. It's about acknowledging, oh yeah, take a moment. Acknowledge what you are creating. Be in that space of appreciation for all of the information that's coming into you. And are you willing to choose through kindness and not urgency? Right? Urgency is where we trip over ourselves. Rather than asking, oh, so what's important here? We go immediately to what's urgent. And do you notice there's no kindness in there? Your body revs up, you're like, ugh, right? So going back to Lola's question, I think I've given you a few questions to ask here in yourself. Lola, I don't see you're on right now. Hopefully you'll come back or come forward. Cool. Vesna, hey. So how is this landing for everybody? Let me see some hearts or some thumbs up or hashtag yes, I'm getting it. Are we in the right lane? I always want to check in. Because often what pops for me and what pops for people asking me questions is not what pops for you. And that's important. That's a kindness to you. And again, this is a conversation. Right? So what is it that's popping for you with kindness? Are you willing to be kind with you and for you? So far clear, Margot says, yeah, thank you. Janie, can you if you're on here, could you go on to part 1 and let people know that we're on part 2? Any questions? Anything popping for you? What popped for you when Somebody, yes, says, thank you, but thank you. Somebody wrote on Ask Susan Live TV where all the Ask Susans are gathered, and they said, what do you keep saying pop? Why do you keep saying pop? Well, for me, it's like popcorn. It's like there's all this popcorn kernels in a pot, right? And you put them in, and the oil gets a little hotter, and it gets a little hotter, and all of a sudden one pops, and it's like, oh yeah, right? That's it. And then another one, and then another one, and then another one, and you have this whole bowl of popcorn. Now you pick one, right? Hey Trisha, welcome, right? So that's why I'm asking, what's popping for you when you saw this question? For those of you who are on my email, when you got the email about this question, Lola said she loved it. Thank you, Lola. Margot, communication with kindness, even when it's uncomfortable. Absolutely, yeah. You know when it's. Hi Trisha. You know when, for myself, I know when I'm getting very close to something that's popping, right? When it's uncomfortable. So I'll have a conversation with myself about it, as one does. And I'll ask myself, so what is it that's creating this uncomfortableness? So if I actually move through this, who would I be? What would I be? How would I be? How would that change? I get the energy of that. Like, that's, hey, Jennifer, that's going into my future. Right? My future could be 10 seconds from now. It could be 10 years from now. Whatever it is that I'm playing with. And I'll ask, okay, so ask the energy. Oh, wow. And I'll get the energy, and I'll get the sensations of it. And I bring it in. Right? And that actually is a kindness to me. So I don't dwell with what has to be done. I play with the question of what would this create in my life and living if I actually chose this. So I'm creating a different vibration, one of joy, and I'm letting the universe know, my universe know, I'm ready, right? And no matter how uncomfortable it gets, no matter what it looks like, no matter what it takes, I'm taking that one step forward, which is how I play with my clients, right? We go to the future, chunk it down, and what's one step we could take today that would change what's going on right away. Badraj, being kind when one does not want to. Okay, we'll talk about that. So that's when I ask the question, what would create the greatest amount of possibilities? So if you don't want to be kind, are you willing to be kind with you? See, anything we don't want to do, right? That's a huge red light for me, a huge, like, whatever you want to call it, flag. It's like, oh, okay, so what is it that I'm resisting and reacting to? What is it that I'm resisting and reacting to? And is there a kindness in resisting here? No, doesn't work for me. So it's like, so what is this? What could I do with it? If I chose this, what would this create? Like, I've been invited on about 3 or 4 different seminars recently. And I'm like, so what would create the greatest amount of possibilities? Some of them require a free gift. Some of them require different things. Does that work for me? Right? Does it add to my life and living? If I go out 5 years from now, would this create greater or lesser for me? So I know when I say, oh, I don't want to do this, there's something there that's tugging, that's showing me a different possibility in me. Right? So Badraj, let me know how that works for you. How does this ringing for people? Right? Do you get that when you say, I don't want to do something? The first question I might ask you is, how old are you being? Because I don't want to. That's a little, I don't want to, right? And I would ask, how old are you being? What's the value of being that right now? Is that a kindness to you? And what would create the greatest amount of possibilities? And what is it that people need to hear? I had a client talking to me recently, and we had this exact conversation. And I asked her, like, what is it that they require to hear? Are you willing to manipulate it so it actually works for you? So again, another question might be better as, what's your target with this? Does everybody get that? What's your target? Go to what that target is. And you say, I don't want to do something. What's your target? And is that target a kindness to you? Is it a kindness to your business? Yeah. How are we doing here? Thumbs up, hearts. Hashtag I don't get it. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. It's a every week on Ask Susan Sunday I give you some home play. So and I don't check in whether you do it or not. I love your comments. Oh, I got a heart and a thumbs up. If you're watching this later, press hashtag replay. If you do have comments later, pop them right in the comment section under the video. And I always check in every day in every way. Because that's what this is all about, right? Creating something greater. What started this was I just was not seeing a lot of kindness right now on the planet. In the way that people are being, in every way. And then there's another realm I play in, where we play with multiverses and unicorns and all kinds of stuff. And there's tons of kindness there. So it's not an either or, it's just an awareness. What is it you're choosing to play with, and how are you choosing to play? Margot says elf energies. So again, Margot, that's interesting. Not a question. Are you wanting to get rid of elf energies? Do you adore elf energies? Do you play with elf energies? Right? I need a question, babe. Thank you so much. Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, elf energies, well, I'll let Margot tell you what they are. Because my point of view could be different from hers. Yeah. Any other questions popping for people? Margot, thank you so much. Getting more and more aggressive. What can I do to create? Are you willing to be kind to you, Margot? Right? We have a point of view when we buy a question without actually being willing to be the question. So there's a modality that talks about how can I outcreate? How can I outcreate? Well, whoa. Take an aerial view. Be present. Right? What is it that you're asking to outcreate? How many judgments have you bought as real and true that you've decided are outcreating you? That would be my question. And it rhymes. Right? How many judgments are you buying as real and true? You're an infinite being with infinite possibilities and infinite awarenesses. Right? Just saying that is a kindness. So when you say, I want to outcreate, I lack of outcreating. Margot, being present with all elf energies. Yes. Right? With all energies. Right? With all energies. Are you willing to be omnipresent? And ask, what would be a kindness to me? What does this require? Right? Again, please be willing to be the question. That's a kindness. When you're willing to be the question, you send out the vibrations that are so different. And there's so much awareness. It's like, oh, here's an energy that actually doesn't work for me. What can I be or do to change this? Who can I reach out to? What else is possible here? And be willing to be the possibility. I'm choosing to no judgment with that. Absolutely. Yeah. Again, anything you bump up against, ask yourself, oh, is buying this as real and true a kindness to me? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Only you know. Right? Just for this week, with everything you be and do, ask yourself, is this a kindness to me? If you ingest some food, or if you're playing with somebody, if you're, whatever that is, if you're on your own, if you're, whatever that is for you, are you creating right now? That would be my question for everybody is, are you in creation? Because we can't stop creation. That's an impossibility. But lots and lots of people are buying into this reality right now as a way to actually stop creating greater. Right? Is that a kindness to you? Yeah. Margot, what popped was I required to stop them from invading my reality. Again, what questions can you ask? Right? Are you willing to be this omnipotent energy? What does that look like for you? What do you require? Are there crystals you require to play with? Is there somebody that you can reach out to that can actually shift and change this with you? Hey, Mary. Right? The thing is, anything you make significant, you solidify. Margaret says yes. And my question for you is, are you willing to receive the information with clarity of what's required? There were lots of entities that were tripping me and pushing me down the stairs and all kinds of stuff last summer. Interesting point of view. You know, I asked, okay, so what's required? And I'm now wearing certain crystals that actually shift and change all of that for me. What's going on the planet? What is it that you require? If you're willing to be in the question, you get the information with clarity. There's so much more that's available to us right now. It's out there, whether it's crystals, whether it's meditation, whether it's body processes, whether it's being present, whether it's calibrating the molecules. You know, somebody else I know is into like taking everything into decimal points and how that shifts and changes. For whatever that is, we came here to change. We came here to be part of this amazing planet, right? Don't buy any of this as real or true. See what works for you. That's a kindness. Margot, they wanted me to solidify them. So, so asking more questions, yes, is where we get information. Absolutely. Yeah, and willing to be the information and calibrate to the vibration that you're asking to play in, right? Some people just want to stay where they are. That's okay. That's their choice. Is it your choice? Let's get out of the nitpicky judgment. Ask yourself, is this conversation a kindness to me? That's where I would play. Who do I need to talk to? What else is possible? What other information is out there for me? Margaret says, transforming change and turning the molecules. Cool. It's the willingness to be that, right? I mean, one of the things that I love to do with my clients is be present with what is it that they require. And just laser in on how, what, who, where they are, where they'd like to be, and what are the tools that they require in order to get where they need to go. And whether it's channeling, whether it's laser coaching, whatever that is, it's about being present. Teresa said, this makes me think. Thank you, Teresa. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah. There is no one way, right? What's kind to you might not be kind to me. It doesn't matter. I'm asking you to ask that question. Is this kind to me? Is this a kindness to me? Margaret says, I don't judge people who are not choosing to change. Cool. I'm not going there. Cool. Everybody changes all the time. See, I guess I am going there. When we say I don't judge people who are not choosing to change, you're already judging people because you're judging that they're not choosing the change that you would choose. So you're judging them as not changing. Right? We change all the time. We are just molecules. We're changing all the time. All the time. All the time. Play with you in your arena. Let everybody else be in total loving allowance of what everybody else is choosing. You want to change the world, change you. Right? You want to change the policies, get involved in government. You want to change what's going on that doesn't work for you, change you first. Right? Ask those questions of you. We went a little deep here and a little bit longer than normal. Can I see some thumbs up or hearts? How has this been for you? Let me know. Margot. Sorry, I don't have my glasses today. It's a choice how much change people choose. Okay, again, get out of the cesspool. Right? Oh, thank you. I've got some thumbs up. It's okay. What kind of conversation are you interested in that creates the greatest amount of possibilities for you and that is a kindness for you? That would be my question, right? I don't have a point of view. It's like, wow, I came here to shout out loud. Emile Zola, love that, right? Be the change you're asking to be in the world. Gandhi. Right? What's a kindness to you? Because if you're willing to shift and change who you be, what you be, and how you be, you are the ripple in the water that creates change in your universe. We're playing in your sandbox. You're playing in my sandbox, right? There's a huge universe out here, and universes and universes and universes. I wonder what that could create for you. So, true kindness is the willingness to be kind to you in every way. And one of the things that I would ask is, when you're involved in someone else's life, or looking at what other people are doing, or whatever that looks like, is that a kindness to you, to your life you're living, and your business? If it's not, don't go there. So, once again, your home play, everything you do and be and say, everything you eat, the clothes you put on, is this a kindness to me? My body, my life, my living, my day. Yeah. If you're looking to dig a little deeper, contact me, right? Private message me, write in the comments. I'd love to have a conversation with you on where we could go. I'm always there for you. Know that. Dawn, thank you. Kindness to me is the perfect revisit today. Thank you so much, Dawn. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's been a great revisit for me too this week. Love it. Love it. So Monday you will see I will pose any questions, pop them in there. And we're going to have a few surprises this week. I'm going to go live on my Facebook page twice this week at 11 a.m., Tuesday and Thursday, where I'll be playing with the myths in relationships, right? There's a lot of people that have been reaching out to me, especially in this self-isolation, about their relationship. So I thought, let's have a little fun. Go with your questions. And yeah, we're going to be playing with 6 myths that almost everybody buys into in every relationship, and how to let go of them. It'll just be a little quickie, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on my Facebook page, and I'll bring it on over here. Margot, thank you. That's clear. It's kindness to me. Cool, 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 cool. Thank you, everybody. I adore you all. Live boldly, love greatly, and be that fearless leader you came here to be. Because truly, 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 the world requires the kindness. The space of kindness, of appreciation, of joy, of gratitude. I wonder what that could create if you're willing to be that energy today and every day. Margot says, thank you, Margot. Thank you for your questions. I adore you all, and come on in, #replay. Let me know what's popping for you when you watch this again. I will put in what are your questions on Monday. I want to see something in there from you. And check out my Facebook page, on my personal Facebook page, 11 o'clock Tuesday and Thursday, where I'm going to be playing with the first 2 of 6 myths that people buy into in every relationship. Let's see what we can create together. I love you. And if you want to dive deep, private message me. I'm here for you. Bye-bye.